Hi everyone, welcome to the visual guide for Asphodelos the Second Circle. This is the second new raid made available by patch 6.01 in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. After a deluge of wipes, it's hard to set your sights on a win, and you may find yourself dissociating or feeling like easy prey. But there's no need to lose your head or feel drained. My name is Miztech and I'll be your raid guide. Murky Depths will deal high raid-wide damage, shield and heal as necessary. Doubled Impact is a shared tank buster that the primary tank can immunity through, or should be shared by both tanks with cooldowns. Throughout the encounter, the boss will leap into the center of the platform, its head and body will separate, and it'll begin to cast spoken cataract in random directions. A red arrow indicator will form in the direction the head is pointing, and a yellow arrow indicator will form in the direction that the body is pointing. The yellow indicator will always be an incoming wide line attack that traverses through the boss's body, in alignment with the yellow arrow. The red indicator shows a frontal attack in front of the boss's head, a wide frontal attack that will be perpendicular to the direction of the red arrow. The yellow and red arrow attacks will go off at the same time, so players will need to pre-position in a safe area to avoid both. To do so, always move away from the half of the platform that the red arrow is pointing to, and then adjust out of the remaining middle section to make sure you're not in the way of the yellow attack. The positioning of the red and yellow indicators will be random throughout the encounter, so make sure to keep your eyes open. Eventually, the boss will cast SEWAGE Deluge, and all sections except the grates and raised platforms will be covered with water that debuff players standing in it. During this time, players will have a lot less surface area to handle mechanics. Tainted Flood will target all players with these large AoE circle attacks. Players will need to spread on the available platforms and grates to avoid overlap. Predatory Sight will mark all players with easy prey, and they'll need to stack with at least one other person. Shockwave will have a knockback indicator form on one of the raised platforms. Players can use a knockback immunity or position themselves in such a way that they don't get knocked into the water or edges. Eventually, the water will recede and the platform returns to normal. Dissociation will have the boss's head pop off and reappear on one side of the north edge of the platform. The head will dive across the half of the platform in front of it, and players will have to move to the opposite side to avoid getting hit. Coherence will target one tank with a flare proximity marker and another player with a lineup marker. The affected tank will cool down and move their marker away from the group to minimize damage, while the rest of the group stacks up to share the incoming damage. There's quite a bit of raid damage here, so healers beware. Another SEWAGE Deluge will cover the platform with water again. At this point, mechanics will begin to overlap, and players will have to handle them in the same manner within the limited area. SEWAGE Eruption will target the ground under players with large AoE circles multiple times. Players will have to move out of these as necessary. Dissociation can overlap with Shockwave during this time, and players can use the knockback to throw them into the safe side of the arena away from the head, or use a knockback immunity if available. Another dissociation combo aligns with SEWAGE Eruption and Coherence. Players will have to dodge the ground AoE circles while staying on the safe side of the platform to avoid the head. Then, as the eruption circles resolve, the affected tank will run away while the rest of the group moves in together to share the damage. All of these mechanics will repeat until the boss is down. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Up next, we're heading into the third circle. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.